Welcome to the Noble Dogs. Congratulations on getting signed up and having your dream life with your pup. What I'm going to be going over is a few simple steps that are going to be able to change the game with your dog. What I'm going to be going over is what we found to be the most fun and effective way to train your dog, but it does not mean that it's the only way. So if there's anything that I go over that you don't feel comfortable with, please let me know and we'll change the training style to fit your lifestyle. The first and most important thing that we want to do in the training is use your dog's daily food for training rather than putting it in a food bowl and letting them eat for free. The reason why we want to do that is it changes the mindset from what are you going to do for me to what can I do for you? Now, at the end of the training, you're never going to need to put the dog's food in. You're never going to need to, consistently use the dog's food for training. But for right now, we want to remove the food bowl and only feed our dog by hand. There's a few simple steps that we want to do to immediately get some results with our dog. And the first one is teaching our dog to make incredible eye contact. The reason why we want to do that is it gives our dog a coping skill that they can take with them anywhere. If our dog's pulling on the leash and we pull back, by teaching the dog that it gets fed by making eye contact, it understands that if I have a negative consequence by pulling on the leash, what could I possibly do to get fed? Maybe the thing we've done literally 100 times, which is make eye contact. It's very, very important. Teaching our dog to make incredible eye contact. That way, when anything unfortunate happens, the dog pulls on the leash, barks, gets alert, anything that we may find correctable, when we do correct, the dog understands completely that there's an acceptable behavior that it can do instead to get the reward, which would be eye contact. I'm going to send you some videos on that so you have a little bit more understanding. But the name of the game is you have the food like this in either hand, you separate it, and dog's going to be trying to get it, open and close your hands. And once it makes eye contact, say good, throw some food on the ground. The second most important thing we want to do is we want to teach our dog to love going to a raised dog bed. And the key is it's raised off the ground at least 2 to 4 inches. The reason why we want to do that is it teaches our dog to jump on and off things versus walk on and walk off of things. There's something about the fact of jumping on and jumping off that makes it incredibly clear for the dog when they're doing the correct versus incorrect behavior. What we want to do is teach them to love that raised dog bed. That way, if they do any inappropriate behavior inside the home and we need to correct it, they completely understand an acceptable behavior that they can do instead. Let's say the dog is jumping on someone. You can go no, yank with the leash, and then guide them to the dog bed. The goal is that outside the home, it understands that the best thing it can possibly do is make eye contact, and it understands that inside the home, the best thing that it could possibly do is go to its raised dog bed. And a very simple trick, again, we're going to send it to you in video form, but it's just lure the dog to the dog bed. As soon as it's on there, say good, give it a piece of food. Literally take 1 step back, immediately go in, reward. 3 steps back, immediately go back and reward. Try to make sure that you can at least give 8 to 10 rewards while your dog is on the dog bed before it gets off the command. We want to proactively reward the dog for the good behavior, not react and teach the dog that getting off of the dog bed is how it gets the reward. And if you're having some experiences with walking, you need some help with walking, the key is we need to pull the leash before the dog pulls us on the leash. Oftentimes what happens is dog pulls us, we pull back, and that is us being in the follower state of mind. By pulling our dog before they pull us, it helps us stay in the leader's sense of mind. Once you pull, it's imperative that you are moving away from your dog or stationary. The reason for that is after they get pulled, they're going to be looking to you for guidance, and they need to see that there's an acceptable behavior that they could have done alternatively to what they did. So when they get pulled, they say, why did I get pulled? They look for you, they see you're stopped moving, and they realize, okay, if I saw him stop moving, I easily could have avoided that from happening. Or if they get pulled and they say, why did I get pulled? Oh, my owner is completely walking away. I got pulled not because they're trying to stop me from pulling, but because they don't want me to get lost. Those are the 3 most important steps that we want to do before we start training together. First is use the dog's daily food for training. Again, you do not need to be feeding them kibble by kibble. You can absolutely give them handfuls at a time. The key is that it's not in a dog bowl. So, food, boom, eye contact, dog bed, and walking. Those are the 3 big things that I would like you to work on. Now, if your dog's having a hard time eating, what you want to do is put the dog's food down for 15 minutes. If it doesn't eat in 15 minutes, remove the food. Once your dog starts eating in 15 minutes, then start using the food for training. With some dogs, they'll go up to a week without eating because they've been able to get everything they want in life for free, and they're purposely choosing not to be trained. If you get in a situation where you've gone a week without the dog eating, what I would recommend is using food and treats together, doing something to supplement the dog's training. And in that situation, what I recommend is using a dog food like Ziwi or Real Meat, which is basically a treat smashed into the shape of a food that dogs can eat endlessly without dietary issues. I hope that helps, guys, and I look forward to helping you with your Noble Dog.